Well, we're going to turn now to the topic of book banning in the United States, with the news earlier this week that a children's picture story by the actress Julianne Moore is on a list of library books suspended for a compliance review after that executive order by President Trump. Emerald Maxwell is here with us now to talk more about it. Emerald, I understand that this book is about a little girl who learns to accept her freckles. Why is it attracting the ire of the Trump administration?
Well, that is a very good question, Erin. It's hard to know what is so controversial or subversive about Julianne Moore's picture book about a little girl who dislikes her freckles but learns to live with them. But it was among the books that were caught up in a compliance review by the Pentagon for their schools which serve U.S. military families, according to a list obtained by The Guardian. In a statement, the Department of Defense Education Activity confirmed that it was carrying out a review of these books to ensure they were aligned with two of Trump's recent executive orders. Those are defending women from gender ideology extremism and ending radical indoctrination in schools. It's not known whether the book passed the test, and they haven't commented on any individual titles. But in any case, Julianne Moore reacted on Instagram, writing, "I'm truly saddened and never thought I would see this in a country where freedom of speech and expression is a constitutional right. It's a book I wrote for my children and for other kids to remind them that we all struggle but are united by our humanity and our community." Erin.
This is surprisingly, again, like Julianne Moore says, in the country of free speech, this is only the latest effort to take books off shelves in schools and libraries in the United States.
Yeah, it may recall Nazi-era book burnings in Germany, but book bans have really become part of the landscape in the United States. Attempts to ban or censor books have always been around, but the efforts to do so have soared in recent years as part of the country's larger culture wars over racial and gender identity. One of America's largest nonprofits dedicated to protecting freedom of expression, PEN America, counted more than 10,000 book bans in public schools in the 2023-2024 school year, a nearly 200% rise on the year before. And this has been led by Republican-controlled states, as we see on this map. Leading the pack is Florida, with more than 4,500 books banned from school libraries, followed by Iowa with 3,600 and Texas with more than 500. PEN America says the books being targeted the most are by authors of color, LGBTQ writers, and women, and they explore topics like racism and sexuality and so on. Titles including the likes of Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, which I personally studied at school and was, of course, turned into a hit TV series. It has also become one of the most banned books in America. It tells a story of a dystopian society, which is a manifestation of far-right ideology, and including controlling women's bodies. Other examples include lots of books by Toni Morrison, like The Bluest Eye, due to its exploration of themes of racial identity, racism and slavery, among others. Or we have All Boys Aren't Blue by George Matthew Johnson, which is about growing up black and queer. Erin.
Unimaginable, because I too, like you, Emerald, studied a lot of those books in school as well. So why do you think that this censorship has picked up in the past few years?
Well, the Trump administration has distanced itself from such restrictions, which supporters say curtail age-inappropriate content. On the 24th of January, the Education Department said that books are not being banned, but school districts, in consultation with parents, have established common sense processes by which to evaluate and remove age-inappropriate content. Much of the efforts are being organised by conservative groups, such as Mums for Liberty, which aims to censor books that they deem run counter to their conservative values. This group describes itself as nonpartisan, but it was founded in 2021 by the wife of the then chairman of the Republican Party of Florida. And their method for achieving their goals and pushing through these bans is by taking over the boards of education that run the schools in the districts. And more generally, Republican states like Florida under Governor Ron DeSantis have jumped on Trump-era legislation and his so-called war on woke in order to push for bans in their states. There has been, though, some pushback by Democratic-led states such as Minnesota, Washington, and Illinois, which have banned the book ban, implementing restrictions on banning books from public libraries, including those in schools and colleges.
It'll be interesting to see if this holds up to legal scrutiny. Emerald Maxwell, thank you very much.